Air raid sirens and the sound of explosions have rung out in the city of Jammu in Indian-administered Kashmir. That's as India and Pakistan accuse each other of launching attacks and killing civilians for a second day. Witnesses in Jammu describe seeing possible drones being intercepted over the sky. There's also been an electricity blackout. Zafar Chowdhury is a journalist and policy analyst focused on Kashmiri affairs. He's joining us from Jammu in Indian-administered Kashmir. Thank you very much for your time. Firstly, can you tell us about the situation right now in Jammu, the reports that people have heard, air raid sirens and explosions?
So some state of panic that erupted an hour and a half ago. There has been electricity blackout, but then there were some deafening sounds of explosions heard from different parts of city. And people saw some projectiles going up in the skies. Probably there has been attack from other sides, and there is an Indian air defense system which is in action to neutralize the attacks. But as we speak, some sounds of explosions are still coming in from different parts of the region.
Okay, so very much still an active situation. You're saying that you can still hear that there
That's
are
right.
still sounds of explosions. What about the electricity blackout that was reported earlier? Is the power back?
So there has been standard precautions already announced after electricity blackout. So probably once the first sound of explosion was heard, there has been a complete blackout in the city, and people have also voluntarily switched off their own battery-operated electrical systems. So there is complete dark in the city, and one can hear sounds of explosions intermittently coming in from different places, but it's an evolving situation. There is still no word from the officials. So no exact idea that where are these explosions taking place and what infrastructure, what buildings or what places are being hit.
Mr. Chowdhury, there have been decades of simmering tensions between India and Pakistan, which sometimes boil over. But is it unusual for people in Jammu to be hearing explosions?
So the kind of situation that, honestly saying, that has been happening for last 1.5 hours hasn't been seen before. This is unprecedented. And there is a fair amount of panic in the city. Such a thing hasn't been seen before.
And so given that, I mean, you're telling us that people are panicked. Tell us more broadly about how people are feeling there, about the tensions, and also if they support the Indian government's actions.
Yeah, so Jammu is part of the state of Jammu and Kashmir, and Jammu city is not very far from the international border with Pakistan. So some vulnerability, factor of vulnerability is already there. Yesterday, soon after this Operation Sindoor, one of the towns in Jammu region that's called Punch, that came under intense attack from the Pakistani artillery firing, which led to loss of at least 15 lives within 24 hours. And now the focus has shifted to, this is not only the Jammu city, but some adjoining towns as well. So, of course, once this incident of terrorist violence had happened on the 22nd of April in Pahalgam, everyone had wanted some kind of punishment for Pakistan, some retribution, some action against the terrorists. But, of course, war is not something that everyone wants. So there is fear, there is panic in the town, and people want this to end quickly.
All right, that is journalist Zafar Chowdhury joining us live from Jammu in Indian-administered Kashmir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
India says it struck an air defense system in Pakistan and is accusing Islamabad of targeting civilians. At least 16 people have been killed and dozens injured in the border towns and villages in Indian-administered Kashmir. Heavy shelling caused widespread damage to homes along the line of control in the disputed territory. Let's bring in journalist Umar Mehraj. He's live for us in Srinagar in Indian-administered Kashmir. And Umar, you were in Uri earlier. That's very close to the line of control. Tell us what you saw and what the situation is there.
The situation in Uri near the line of control is grim. There are heightened tensions among the villagers, and they fear. They say that they're caught in the middle. There have been an intense exchange of artillery firing along the line of control, a troubling shift between the two countries. For the second consecutive night, both the armies have traded heavy artillery along the line of control, and Indian Army said that what they said, that unprovoked Pakistan soldiers fired at Indian military posts in Kufara, Baramulla, Aknoor, and Puj sectors. The authorities have set up many community centers with ambulances and the fire engines at standby. Also, in also the multiple loud explosions were heard in the Jammu. Following that, there have been also a heavy ongoing shelling in the Kofara, that's about 300 kilometers away from the Jammu, and in the Pathankot. Indian media channels have also reporting that the Arnia military base in the Jammu have been targeted, although there is no official word on the incident.
And Umar, we were just speaking to a journalist in Jammu earlier who was saying that he doesn't remember the last time he's heard explosions, if ever, over Jammu. You've covered Kashmir, Indian administered Kashmir, for us for many, many years. How would you describe the tensions over the past few weeks compared to the recent years?
There have been very occasional small file exchanges along the line of control, but the renewed tensions between the countries and the exchange of heavy artillery is very rare post their ceasefire agreement in 2009-21 between India and Pakistan. And in Jammu, it's something very unusual. I have not seen it before. The attacks, the drone strikes at the Indian military sites, what the Indian media channels are reporting, it's very unusual, and the situation at there is very escalating, and the people are very panicked.
Umar Mehraj joining us live with the latest from Srinagar in Indian administered Kashmir. Thank you very much, Umar.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.